Hey, good evening, everyone. It is November 22, 22, November 22, 2021. I think that's right. It's Monday, right? Yeah, okay, it's Monday. Welcome to the third guild call of CPAG. I see there's already about 37 people in the chat. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Um, I know that this was a little bit late. This episode was supposed to be a week ago. Unfortunately, medyo nagka-problema kasi kami with our well, actually it was just me. My setup in Manila was not so great. So medyo hindi namin magawa last week and I was really busy. So I'm back in La Union now, as you can see. So my background is La Union again. This is my beach studio setup. Um, and I'm really glad to be with you guys again. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Carol is here. I'm going to add her now. There you go. Hey, Carol,
Hello.
how have you been doing? What have you been doing in the last 2 weeks since we last saw each other?
Well, nagpagawa akong ngipin.
What? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, also
like what?
preparing the demo for today, and also I've
Hmm.
been working on some supplementary videos for our scholars. Para may mapanood kayo on YouTube later on. Pero medyo matagal pa yun, so
Nice,
abang-abang
nice.
na lang.
What's your no? Do you have a channel name now? Have you figured that out?
Uh, no, I haven't actually. Like
Okay.
I
Okay.
wanna like do a video first before I decide on
Okay.
all the other shit.
Okay. Okay. Sige, so guys, we need to help Carol come up with an official channel title for her new YouTube project. We got to figure that one out. So, what else have you been you were so you had your teeth fixed. That was not what I was expecting. Okay. um I also noticed na nag-iba na rin yung setup mo there. You got some new lights going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay. So okay
I'm
ka
trying
na?
to like upgrade. Yeah, but
Okay.
kulang pa. I feel like hindi pa ako satisfied with this. Kulang pa ako ng backlighting para medyo litaw naman yung
Mm,
hair ko
yeah.
from the background. So,
Right.
yun.
Right. Yep. So guys, we in the photography world we call that hair lighting because you need like a bit of light from the back para you know exactly where yung form of the hair ends in the image. It just makes it a little bit easier to guys don't usually need that because we don't have much hair and then like that's kind of one of the reasons why I've got lighting in the back. But it's not exactly hair light, but like that's my version of that. Para lang you're always very well defined dun sa sa image. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's see. Let's see who is in the chat. I mean I recognize all the names. I'm trying to see kung may mga bago tayo eh. I guess this is almost all CPAG people. So thanks so much guys for joining tonight. Again, we're going to talk a little bit about some CPAG developments, and then I'll turn it over to Caroline to do her parang her demo and then her homework. But for now, I wanted to just mention a couple of things. Na yeah, what his some updates lang about the CryptoPop Art Guild. No, so the first thing is that we're going to try to adjust yung timeline natin for certain things. No, I remember that when we were first doing our first guild call with Carol actually. So this is like months ago na we said that we were aiming to do a group exhibit by December. Um, I have a feeling na hindi natin magagawa yon just because there's not enough time. No, there's so many things we're trying to organize at the same time. And I think it might be better if we work on something na we're aiming for February instead of December. That being said, we do have some other updates and news for you that I think you'll be very interested in. So I'm just going to get into that right now. And we can start talking about it. By the way, thank you, Maui, for always doing great stuff for our presentations. I actually don't make my own slides anymore, Carl. It's great. Like Maui does all of it.
Pagawa
This
din
is
ako.
exactly what I need. Oh, nga, I can't. This is exactly what I've always wanted. I don't want to make my own slides. Anyway, okay. So we've got some pretty good news for ano, and this is parang our version of a Christmas gift. Is not exactly free stuff, but it's like we're trying to set you guys up so that you can become better artists. No, so one of the goals of CPAG has always been to be able to give you guys the equipment that you need. So bahala kayo what that equipment is, no? So I know that some of you really are very used to drawing on your phones. Some of you probably prefer sa laptop or sa desktop, tapos may parang drawing tablet kayo, and that's totally fine. And then I'm sure some of you prefer pen and paper, watercolors, and oils and things like that. So what we have right now is our first version of the CPAG Lending Program. So the first thing that you need to know is that it is open to every CPAG member who is active. So yung definition natin of active is meron silang naka-assign sa kanila na AXI team. So kung wala kang AXI team, because you chose to, parang we have a few members kasi na ano na hindi na naglalaro ngayon because they wanted to focus more on their art. And that's fine. We have nothing against that. Pero yung lending program natin is meant specifically for CPAG members na naglalaro ng AXI regularly. No, so they have to be you have to be playing regularly. You can borrow up to 25,000 pesos in one shot. Okay. And then, yung 25,000 pesos na yon, what do you actually do with it? So here's what you need to do. You need to go to kimstore.com. By the way, if you guys don't know what kimstore.com is, she was one of the very first parang businesses na sobrang nag-focus sa parang very affordable laptops and phones and desktops back in the early 2000s. So I think a few of you might still have been in elementary school back then. But anyway, she just celebrated her 15th year anniversary. And part of one of the things she's doing is she's going to partner with CPAG so that if enough of us buy from Kim's store, she can extend a discount for the guild. So baka makamura pa tayo ng konti, no? If you buy from her. So the way that will work is pipili kayo in kimstore.com, whatever you want to buy, up to a maximum of 25,000 pesos dapat yung hihiramin nyo from us. Now, for example, let's say na you wanted to buy something that was 35,000 pesos. Okay lang din yon, pero sagot mo yung 10K. Right? Yung 10,000 na extra, sagot mo na yon. You have to find some other way to come up with that money. But yung maximum that you can borrow from CPAG, at least for now, is 25. Once you find the thing that you want, all you have to do is send us the link, and then we'll order it for you. So ang gagawin natin, we'll do this in batches, no? So wala namang deadline to. But what we'll probably do is, siguro we'll do one big order, siguro on Friday this week. And then next week, ganun ulit, everyone who wants to order, they just have to give the link of the items they want to buy, give it to Jang. Tapos ganun ulit, one big order on Friday. So we'll keep doing it that way, no? You can only have one loan open at any time, no? So if one guild member borrows 25,000 pesos, hindi siya pwedeng humiram ulit until either mabayaran niya yung loan na yon, or until mabayaran niya yung loan na yon. That's basically it. You have to pay it back, no? We will charge you 12% interest per year. So basically 1% per month. So what does that mean? I know that we're artists and we're not mathematicians, so I have an example here. Don't worry. Here's the example. If you choose to buy a 25,000 peso laptop, so let's just pretend na lang na eksaktong 25,000 yung worth ng laptop na pinabili nyo sa CPAG, ang babayaran nyo buwan-buwan is 2,333 pesos. But you don't actually have to give us 2,333 pesos. You would only give us the SLP equivalent of that. Whatever the equivalent of that is during yung time na nag-claim kayo ng earnings nyo. Now, here's the one thing you need to know about this. If you choose to hold your SLP that month, we still need to take yung repayment. So let's say na ano, 'di ba? I know that some of you kasi instead of trading your SLP, hinahawakan niyo siya, no? And okay lang 'yon, we don't mind. Pero we still need to take yung ano, yung the part of your repayment from your ano, from that SLP kasi kailangan natin mabalik yung funds eh. And the reason why we're doing this is because we want more of the other CPAG members to eventually be able to borrow from this same money that was given to us. Kasi hindi currently possible na i-cover lahat ng ano lahat ng members ng CPAG sabay-sabay. So mangyayari magro-roll ng konti yung funds na to. So ayun, that's why we need to we need to have repayments, we need to have some interest kahit konti lang. 1% is actually very very reasonable. That's lower than credit card interest rates. So we're hoping that you guys will take advantage of this, and also that you understand na kung hindi nyo siya binayaran, hindi ako yung masasaktan, hindi yung sponsor natin yung masasaktan, hindi si Carol yung masasaktan. Ang masasaktan yung other members ng guild, right? Because they will not be able to borrow money from CPAG later on, right? So you need to know that the reason why we are doing this is because we are actually also trusting you guys that you will be able to pay it back, because we need to cycle this money back into the guild so that other people can borrow. Okay? I said that right there. All repayments will go back to funding more loans for more CPAG artists. And if possible nga, pag nagkaroon tayo ng batch 2 of CPAG artists next year, baka yun pa rin yung funds na gagamitin natin. So it's very important na mabalik siya into the guild kasi yun mismo yung that is what we will lend out to the next round. Okay, yeah, and Aldrich, it is lower than credit cards. Most credit cards are 2%. And then syempre, medyo mahirap kumuha ng credit card ngayon, 'di ba? So what we're doing here is actually a lot easier for most people. Saka rin yung the fact na hindi mo na kailangan ipalit yung SLP mo, you don't have to turn it into pesos. Kami na yung tatanggap ng SLP mo, whatever yung current price niya at the time is. So this is a pretty good agreement, I believe. Obviously, please tell us kung like if you guys have feedback or if you have questions. This stream is going to keep going for another hour. So kung may naisip kayong mga tanong about the lending program, please let us know. Okay? Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the last thing on my list. So this is a Christmas NFT art contest. It's pretty interesting. So yung sponsor nito is BitPinas. So BitPinas is the country's, I guess they're actually the only crypto news website in the Philippines. And sponsor sila ng isang Tezos na NFT marketplace. So there's stuff here that you will need to learn. In fact, let me put the link in the chat para mabasa nyo for yourself yung article. So, okay, here is the article. Hopefully you guys can see that link. So you can read it for yourself. So ito yung mga prizes niya, no? So first place is 20,000 pesos. Second place is 15,000 pesos. Third place is 7,500, etc., etc. Okay, so these are the prizes. Now, you will have to learn about NFTs in order to join this contest, and that's actually why I want you guys to join. Obviously, hindi requirement to, no? So this is more like I want you guys to join, and if you join, I want you guys to share your learnings and your experience with your other guildmates. Because I assume not all of you is going to have the time to do this, but I hope that some of you will. Now, and here's my deal for all of you, the ones who join and the ones who win. No? So if any of you win any of these prizes that are here, tatapatan ko yung whatever that prize is. So kunwari, if it's $400 in pesos, I'll basically double it. I'll give you an extra 20,000 pesos kung ikaw yung nanalo and you're from CPAG. But only for CPAG to. And obviously hindi pera ng CPAG yung ginagastos ko. It's just me. I'll throw in an extra I'll throw in some extra funds to make sure you have an extra special Christmas kung nanalo kayo. So so ganun din. So kung yung fifth place, 'di ba? $50, 2,500 pesos. Tatapatan ko 'yon. I'll add 2,500 pesos to the prize money. We'll give it to you through, how will we give it to them, Carol? I guess we'll give it to them through, I guess, Gcash na lang or something, I guess, or however.
Gcash, I guess.
Yeah. Ganun na lang. So assume na lang natin na 50 pesos yung exchange rate para hindi na magulo. So, parang ayoko na mag-check pa ng rates on the day itself. So, let's assume na 50 pesos yung exchange rate per dollar. So, $400 is 20,000 pesos, $300 is 15,000 pesos, etc., etc. Okay? So, I want you guys to join. I want you guys to win. And I'm willing to put some of my own money behind the idea that you guys will win.
Pwede bang mag-coach?
Of course. Oo naman. As long as hindi ka
Guys,
judge, di ba?
kung gusto niyo magpa-check ng trabaho bago mag-submit, sabihan niyo lang ako.
Yeah. I think you should. Check the rules first. Make sure that you guys read the rules, ha? Because baka hindi pasok yung submission nyo. So you have to make sure that you follow the rules. Actually, to be honest, in-invite nga kami ng Bitpinas to be judges for this contest. But I have to, I can't be a judge because I'm also one of the people. Not only am I part of CPAG, I'm also planning on giving you extra prizes kung nanalo kayo. So sobrang, it's not gonna work, no? So I can't be one of the judges. Anyway, so I hope you guys join. And ito na lang muna yung natin siguro. Ito na lang muna yung Christmas project natin kasi ay hindi talaga aabot yung yung the guild exhibit project that I really wanted to do for us in December. Mukhang hindi siya talaga aabot because unfortunately there's some paperwork stuff that we need to go through. Hindi siya straightforward. I'm not gonna bore you with all the details. But believe me when I say that we've been working on it for the last several weeks. And mukhang hindi talaga siya aabot before December. So yung best estimate ko is the first exhibit that we'll probably do together as a guild is probably going to be in either late January or early February. But for now, at least, if we all join this NFT art contest, it's kind of like we had a guild exhibit also. Pero Christmas themed lang nga lahat. So I hope there's at least one person who will try to do some kind of Jose Marichan joke. That would make me very happy. I don't know if that's possible. Or something. Uso pa ba si Jose Marichan? Do they still? I guess. When was the last time you were in a mall, Carol? Did you notice if they were playing Jose Marichan songs?
Kahapon lang.
Did you notice if they were?
I tune out any Christmas songs that I hear, but I'm pretty sure that Jose Marichan is forever.
Right. Yes, I agree.
Forever.
I totally agree. Okay. So, okay, I'm just looking for the rules really quickly. Look at this. So judging criteria. Sorry, hindi ko pala shinare yung screen ko. I'm gonna switch this.
Hindi ko pa binabasa din yung rules. I should probably check.
Yeah. I'll do that. Hold on. Huh? I'll share my screen. Chrome tab. There you go. Tesmus PH. Okay. So judging criteria: creativity and originality, emergence of the artist's personal vision, skill, technique, incorporation of the theme. Wait, what's a theme? What's the theme? Let's look for the theme. Oh, it's easy. For 2D or 3D visual art capturing how Pinoy celebrate Christmas. Okay, so I'm definitely I expect to see some Jose Marichan portraits, if that's the case. Well, it says right there. How do Pinoy celebrate Christmas ba other than playing Jose Marichan songs?
Gawa ka ng parol out of the ETH logo.
Nice. You're not just limited to Parol, Belen, Simbang Gabi, Puto Bombong, and Bibingka. Feel free to be creative on how to depict the holiday season through your NFT art. Okay, guys. I hope we're giving you some actionable ideas here. um, anyway, this will be really interesting. Um, and yun lang. Okay, so I've already said that that we're gonna double whatever prizes you guys win. So that's I've said it on the stream, so that means I can't go back on it anymore. So that's basically as good as that's good as a contract. Um, we've got geez, yung judges nila si AJ sa si Joey. Okay, all right. So this might change, but anyway, okay. Yeah, Guild, you probably don't know kasi na AJ and Joey are both investors in CPAG. I don't think they will probably be judges for this contest kung most of the submissions are from CPAG. But anyway, we will see. What else do you need to know? December 13 yung deadline. How many days left do we have? Tagal pa. It's like 3 weeks.
That should be
Um,
enough, yeah.
yeah. So people could start submitting as of last Friday. Um, okay. There was a live. Wait, that's. Oh no. Okay, last Friday yung live stream nila. They were talking about it on Crypto Art PH. Okay. All right. So actually, guys, if you want to, do you think it's unethical, Carol, kung diniscuss natin yung mga submissions nila before they submit it, like on a live stream? Unethical ba yun?
Uh, I don't know. I mean,
Hmm.
I could look at their work sa
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Discord chat
Hmm.
natin, but I don't know if
Mm-mm.
ano.
I wonder. I wonder. We're gonna need to think about that one. Actually, I see Joey Alviar in the chat. Joey, I'm not sure you and AJ should be judges to this competition, given that you are both investors in CPAG, and then so many CPAG members are now gonna join. But anyway, I guess we can talk about that one offline. Ayun lang. That was all from me, guys. Please read the article in full. There's some FAQs there. Um, it'll tell you some answers to some of your questions. But if you have anything that you are not sure about, please feel free to ask either Carol or me, or some of your other more experienced guildmates. I know that at least a few of you have already tried to make NFT art. Joey saying we might get replaced. Yeah, I actually think that we might. I have to already decline the judging invitation because I really can't be a judge. Anyway, okay. So ayun, so you've got two things to think about, CPAG members. You have yung lending program natin na yung hopefully yung first batch will start buying your equipment this Friday, and then the second batch will be next Friday. Pag-isipan nyo kung ano yung gusto nyong bilhin. Obviously, try to make it worth it, no? Something that you know that you can use to make better artwork. It doesn't have to be a laptop. It doesn't have to be like a full computer. Maybe yung kulang mo lang is a nice drawing tablet. Diba? Baka maybe that's all you need. Maybe you already have a laptop kasi. For the ones who don't, maybe what you want is, or actually for the ones who are using phones, maybe what you want is a small drawing tablet, no? So you can ask us for recommendations. I actually think that the Samsung um, S6 Tab is a good choice. I've tried it. I've actually tried it myself. So may kasama siyang stylus, and it's about 10 inches. So mas malaki siya sa phone mo for sure, pero hindi siya ganun kalaki. So that's one of the recommendations also. If you're looking for something in the 25,000 peso range or less, the Samsung Galaxy S6 tablet is, I gotta make sure about that model number, but parang ganun yung number niya. Anyway, okay, so I should probably hand this over to Carol now. Did you want to do a quick introduction about what you're going to be talking about?
Okay, so for today, maggagawa lang ako ng demo about one of the techniques that we used to use at work. Ito yung nakaseparate yung lighting mo into layers, and yeah, so yung light and shadow are separated into layers, and we're going to be using Um, I think layer styles, I think is what they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so layer styles. And this works for most of the softwares and apps that are available. So na-test ko na to on tinest ko yung Ibis Paint, which it's actually pretty good. So yun lang, medyo hindi lang maganda yung UI niya. Um yeah, so it works on Ibis Paint. I think Sketchbook has it then. Sketchbook ba? Tama ba? Yung Autodesk
Yeah,
Sketchbook.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Procreate too.
Procreate definitely has it. Photoshop, they're all like based naman on Photoshop since Photoshop is the industry standard. So most of these apps already have these layer styles. So that's what we'll be using for today's demo. So I'll just share my screen.
Cool.
Okay. So, nag-drawing na ako ahead. Because this is an Axie Infinity Guild, I thought it would be nice if I used an actual Axie for my demo. This isn't mine, by the way. This is Gabby's. It's at Gabush on Twitter. This is his Axie.
How
I
long have you
asked for
had that?
permission. Huh?
How long have you had that Axie from Gabby?
No. This is his. I
Ah,
actually
okay,
asked
okay.
him whether I could draw it during the stream.
Ah. Oh, cool, cool.
Ayan.
Okay, great, great, great. That's cute. Okay, cool. I'm into this.
Yeah, and so that's what the Axie looks like originally. But what we'll be doing today is kind of like parang soft shading. So we're gonna try to like shade it more realistically. Kasi yung original style ng Axie is very cell shaded. So you only see like yun nga, parang the shadow, one shadow
Mm.
dun sa certain areas. But what we're going to try to do is make it look more 3D. So, gumawa na ako ng sketch. I've actually prepped this ahead of time na. Mostly because I didn't want to like do everything while the stream was on. Okay. So, I don't know how I can show you yung layers ko, but I basically have the sketch layer separate. And if you notice, I have a lot of the parts separated into different layers.
How
So,
are you doing the shapes?
I just use either the pen tool or lasso, or I just draw it ng very hard brush.
Ah, I see. Okay, cool.
Ayan. So, yung features niya, they're all separated. This is, I'll show naman later why I separated this. Yes, this
Yeah,
is
so this is
Photoshop.
Photoshop. Mhm. I guess you answered this kanina, no? Gumagamit po ba kayo ng pen tool? Yes, no? So
Yeah.
for some.
Mm-hmm. Like if you want like really clean shapes kasi it's advisable to use the pen tool kasi kung ilalaso mo lang siya, medyo mahirap eh. Magkakaroon ng edges yan eh. So, yung
Yeah.
pen tool is super useful kung gusto mo sobrang clean yung shapes mo.
Like, I guess for the main body of the Axie, it would be actually kind of hard to pull that off without the pen tool, no? Kasi
Yeah.
parang it's not exactly an oblong, it's not exactly a circle, it's
Mhm.
kind of slightly strange yung shape niya. So you do need a pen tool for certain things like that.
Mhm. So, wala na actual line art here. Mostly, yun nga, gumawa ako ng shapes out of my rough sketch. And then, nilinis ko na lang then yung shapes while I was doing it. Are you using drawing tablet or mouse? Tablet. I have a Huon. I can show it actually on screen. Teka, sandali. Sorry. Sorry, baliktad.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's a tiny Huon tablet that this is actually super affordable. Kasi it's like I got it mga 11K, I think.
Mm,
And considering na may screen na siya, that's
yeah.
actually pretty cheap.
13?
Um
13 inch? What is it?
uh I think this one, I think I got the smallest one. I think it's the 11-inch one.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
12 inch ata. I think
Okay.
that's the
Okay.
smallest.
Okay. So, and then you spent about
So
11,000 on it?
I think, or baka 12. Basta in that range. Uh, Anywhere from 11 to 13, ganun.
Anong best
Um,
equipment na parang iPad? um,
Best
oh,
equipment na parang iPad. I
ano?
don't
What do you, I
really
mean,
know because
wala,
uh,
iPad. Bumili ka na ng iPad. If you really want an iPad, just buy a second-hand iPad. I think that's the easiest.
no, I guess there's I guess may mga Android version naman na pwede. But
Mm,
yeah, I mean, like,
yeah.
iPads are pretty great, so I
Yeah.
can't really recommend. And
Oh,
yun nga, that there are iPads that are a little more affordable now. I think yung starter nila is nasa 20K range,
mm,
yung
mm-hmm,
iPad
mm-hmm.
9.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's actually pretty affordable, and I think I'm not sure lang if the new pencil works on
Right.
that
Yeah.
iPad 9.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think the first generation would work.
Mm-mm. So I think if I could just make recommendations lang, if you guys are starting to look around for stuff that you wanna buy in, ano, using the loans in Kim Store, you ask your guild mates for advice also. Kasi I'm sure that other people have tried some of these other things. I'm a big believer in iPads, but yun nga, I understand na medyo mahal nga siya. Saka unfortunately, pag mga 3 or 4 years old na yung model, medyo mahirap makahanap ng brand new sometimes. So I don't think Kimstore actually has parang yung models from 2017 or something. Let me check right now. But anyway, please keep going, Carl. I'll
Oh, sorry.
just look
Okay.
around while
So okay, so from here, so meron na akong rough sketch. I have my flats already. Um, I also actually made a lighting plan ahead of time. So this is, teka, di pala kita yung, ayan. So my
oh
light
shit, sorry.
source,
It's you.
okay. Yeah, so my light source is around here. And so medyo in front and downwards siya. So yung shadows are likely going to be around this area. And yung lighting na to, since mabilis lang yung body nung mabilis lang yung body nung axie, kaya actually pinili ko na mag-drawing ng axie is because, it's basically a a spear, diba? So
Hmm.
I don't know if you've seen yung mga rendered version ng spears where the shadow is mostly, teka, sorry, yeah.
You should probably
Hindi pa rin
zoom in
ako
a little bit,
masyado.
Carl.
Oh, sorry. Hindi pa ako rin masyado sanay na mag-drawing habang nagsasalita.
Nobody is. That's that's something you have to keep practicing. I don't think I'm ever gonna get used to that. Yung narrating what you're doing.
Mhm. Kaya nga
Let's keep
gusto ko
looking at
gumawa
the
ng YouTube
questions.
videos kasi at least I can, like, shoot the video and then narrate over it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So there's some interesting here. So wag kayo mag-Apple kasi pag nag-update na matagal yan, babagal din. So you don't have to update, firstly. The nice thing about Apple is it's actually very reliable hardware. So if you've heard some feedback from other users na medyo bumagal yung iPad nila because of some update, then just don't update. It's hindi naman requirement yun eh. As long as your art program still works, and it will usually still work naman kahit may newer updates, I think it's fine. I see Reds here with some suggestions. Xiaomi MatePad. That's a good that's a good suggestion. I think problema lang kasi doon, it's a $700 device, so medyo lampas siya ng konti dun sa 25,000 peso budget natin. But I've heard good things about this. In fact, I think this is probably the most powerful parang tablet you can currently get, even better than some of the iPads. Pero yun nga, it's slightly more expensive than what you need. Ito, S6 tab. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. Yeah, S6 tab, super sulit nitong device na to. I thought it was actually a really good deal. So, yeah, something to look at. I think that's only 21,000 pesos sa Kim store. How are you doing?
Sorry, kumuha na lang ako ng reference.
Oh, okay, nice.
Kasi medyo nahihirapan ako dun sa brush na ginagamit ko. Hindi nagbe-blend ng maayos eh.
Okay.
Teka, actually, nilipat ako ng Clip Studio. Teka lang ah.
What? Para may blender ka?
Ha?
Para may blender ka?
Oo, para may blender ako. Kasi talaga
Nice.
ako actually sanay na na yung sa Photoshop nagpe-paint.
Yeah, okay. Sige.
Teka
Let's
lang.
try it. Actually, yeah, ako rin eh. Actually, like I can't remember the last time that I used Photoshop for actual painting. It's not easy. Hindi maganda yung blending tools niya. Tapos, I felt like you have to really either you have to spend time looking for good brushes or gagawa ka ng sarili mo. And either way, it just seemed like too much work. And then meanwhile, if you go to Clip Studio, sobrang it's already there. Almost everything that you need is already there.
Yeah. So basically we're kind of following the shape of this sphere. And as you can see, dun sa actual axis that was rendered in 3D, very soft yung lighting and yung shadows niya are kind of like concentrated here, but yung light source niya is a little bit further away and above and slightly in front of it. So na-paintingan ko. Okay, so yung plan ko for the lighting naman is different. But yeah, yung ituturo ko kasi is using layer styles. So I'm going to paint basically all of the light and all of the shadows in different layers, and then later on what you can do is actually play around with the colors, play around with the intensity of the shadows and the lights. So it's very malleable. What is that in Tagalog?
Flexible. What is the word for flexible in Tagalog?
Flexible.
I don't know. Saan ka pa tinanong mo? Okay.
But yeah, basically, mabilis mong mapapalitan yung either yung colors mo or yung shadows or even yung light setup mo without parang destroying too much of what you've already worked on. Like yung flats kasi pag nakita mo kanina, di ba? Hiwalay-hiwalay na yung layers. Pwedeng kung gusto mong palitan ng konti yung kulay nung horns, for example, mabilis siyang i-manipulate later on. So yeah, so ito, para mas mabilis lang, lalo na pag hindi pa kayo sanay na shade, saka hindi pa kayo sanay na pumili ng colors, this is actually a great way to parang kind of play around with the lighting and the colors without having to repaint everything from scratch. So, ayan.
In other words, nababaluktot mo yung colors. That's what Google said. Flexible in Tagalog,
Nababa
nababaluktot.
nababaluktot mo yung colors, yes.
I don't think that's what we want, but sige, I'll accept it. I'll accept it.
So, gagawa lang muna ako ng panibagong layer. And I will call this yung shadow layer. And i-clip ko siya to yung group, yung flats group. So basically, pag nag-drawing ako dito, teka, ay, naka-eraser ako. So pag nag-drawing ako sa layer na to, kahit hindi siya naka-clip. Teka, wait lang ah.
I can't actually see kung na-clip mo siya.
Hold on. Yeah, sorry. Teka lang.
I'm gonna try to zoom in on your screen. I can't actually see what you're clicking on kasi. Okay, let's see. Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't happen. Okay, ayaw niya mag-clip to a group. That's okay, because I have the layer separate. Okay, so that might
nasa
be
background,
one thing that
baka nasa background yung group mo kasi?
Huh? What do you mean?
Is the background in the group? Ah, no, it's not.
No.
That's weird. But ayaw niya mag-clip kanina. That's strange. Huh. Okay.
I know nga, dapat
weird.
Pwede.
Yeah, weird.
Maybe I
weird.
have too many.
No, that should work. That's how I always paint. Weird. Okay, anyway, I mean, separate naman yung layers mo, so that's fine, I guess.
Let me save it as a Clip Studio file, baka.
Really? Would it do that?
I don't know.
Strange.
Clip to layer below.
Oh, yeah. Dapat lahat yan, di ba?
Okay. Anyway.
Weird.
That's
okay. I guess just put it near your, no.
Yan. I'll just turn off this antenna layer. Horns, I guess. Okay, so usually when I'm doing shadows, I don't really like using black. Usually, pag inisip mo shadow, the default of most like newbies, they'll use black for their shadows, and it tends to get muddy and uninteresting, at least for me. So what I usually do is I pick kind of like a dark color, but slightly either reddish or bluish. But I can also like play around with this later, so it doesn't really matter. Tapos usually ang isa-set ko na layer style is hard light. There's a large list of layer styles that you can play around with. But usually for shadows, what I use most of the time is hard light saka multiply. And so, ang nangyayari when you're using layer styles is that pinapalitan niya yung kulay, yung resulting color, based on what color you're using and yung color nung layer underneath it. So, for example, yan. So, hindi siya as stark. So, normally, yung kulay niya would be, teka. Yan yung original color. But dito sa shadow layer mo, yung color niya is, napipick up niya yung color essentially of the layer below it, this body. So what I'll do also is kind of lower yung opacity nung layer, so hindi siya as stark. And you can play around with this later naman, yung opacity niya and stuff. Anyway, lipat ko lang to. It's actually a good practice then to parang have a layer na swatches. So, kunyari, ito yung napili mong color for your shadow, just have a separate layer where your swatch is there para you can always just pick from there. Yeah, so hindi ka na mag-ano dun sa color picker. Hindi ka na maghahanap ng exact shade na yun. Okay. So I'll just continue this. Let me just check my... Okay, so I have the shading. What I do actually is just switch between the brush and the eraser to kind of fix where that shadow falls. May
By the way, Carol,
sorry.
there's a layer mode. I don't know where this is, but I was just looking up why you couldn't clip to the group. And they were saying that you're naka-through yung mode nung group kasi.
Okay.
And it needs to be normal, I think. Can you try pulling it up?
Yeah.
I forgot that was a thing actually, but I think
There you go.
there you go. There you go. Okay,
Alright,
so there
yeah,
was a
that's
mode,
better.
meron ding mode para dun sa group apparently. Cool.
Hi, teka.
Great.
I
Now
just
it's
need
easier.
to open up the sketch. And lower the opacity of the sketch para lang, alam mo, may guide ka where the shadows are, or where the shadow should fall. So, sorry. Okay. I'm back here in shadowed areas.
Question about so bakit hard light yung pinili mo instead of multiply?
I just like it better. Yung
Is it because it's
sometimes
like
it's
so
also
what's
the
the
same.
difference? Mm-mm.
Usually the colors, I think, parang shine through a bit more. You multiply.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit too dark for my taste. But sometimes I'll use multiply then, depending on the situation. But
Okay.
yeah,
Mas
it's
gray. Parang it comes out gray, no? Yung multiply.
uh,
It tends to make it grayer. Yeah, okay, I get it. Okay. I didn't actually, that's so weird because you know what? Like I use hard light for highlights, not shadows. It's so funny.
Oh, really?
Na opposite yung use mo sa kanya.
Well,
Interesting.
naman, in all of these, you can play around with them. Most of the time, I just experiment then.
Mm-mm.
So, since medyo nasa front yung light ko, the shadows would be behind.
Have you ever tried Krita? I've never actually tried that.
Yes, I have tried that then before. I mean, not recently, but I remember having a hard time lang with the shortcuts. Parang I couldn't get used to the shortcuts. But I remember they had some pretty decent brushes. Decent blending brushes. Ang dami ko nang na-try actually na software. Parang lahat na sinubukan ko na din. I also have Corel Painter.
Oh my God, what? Oh my
Open
God.
Canvas.
That's like Corel Painter is older than most of our scholars in the guild. That's been around since the 90s.
Okay, wait. Getting ahead of myself. First yung parang pinaka-shadow muna.
Do you ever use yung... So, naka-zoom in tayo ngayon, di ba? Actually, not that zoomed in. Pero, do you ever use yung second window view ng
This one?
Clip Studio? Well, I guess this is a navigator, no? Like I sometimes for really complicated pieces, like I have another window lang na nakabukas on the upper right that kind of showing me
Oh yeah,
one part,
I use that all the
slightly
time.
larger part. Yeah. I guess this is not super
Usually,
complicated kasi so you don't need it naman so much for here. But having multiple
mhm,
views of your artwork really helps me pag ano like if there's a lot of stuff going on there, sometimes you forget na affect nung ginagawa mo yung other layers kasi. So,
mhm.
yeah. That's pretty nice. Okay, let's while you're doing that, I'm going to keep going through our comments. MS Word Paint. What? I guess MS Paint.
I mean,
Okay,
we've
you
all
mean
used
MS
that
Paint.
at some point,
I
but like not for
guess.
anything serious.
I mean, I mean, do you hate yourself? Why would you just why would you use Paint? GIMP. I
I
have
guess.
actually spent some time trying to learn GIMP. Actually, the nice thing about it
Oh.
kasi open source siya, so it's completely free, you know, and you get maybe about siguro mga 50% of what you can do with Photoshop nagagawa mo sa GIMP. And then there's
Mhm,
even a plugin na lahat ng mga shortcuts ng Photoshop parang ginaya niya. So
mhm.
every shortcut that you are already familiar with from Photoshop, you can just automatically use it in GIMP. The thing that I
That's
found
nice.
very annoying about it was that it just felt slower. Um,
Mm-mm.
and yun, and I mean, Photoshop itself is already not a very fast piece of software. So pag bumagal pa siya lalo, parang hindi mo na siya matiis. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I thought it was okay. And syempre, I really liked the fact that it was free. But yun nga, parang I think you get what you pay for also.
Yeah, yeah.
Parang parang there's a reason kung ba't mahal yung Photoshop eh. And it's because it is the
Mhm,
best, one of the best
mhm.
programs like that. That being said, I mean, Clip Studio is not that expensive. And
Yeah, yeah.
I've done really,
Since
really complicated projects on just Clip Studio. So,
if there's like one software na paid software, I would really recommend everyone get its Clip Studio.
yeah. Yeah, I
There's also
agree
another
for
one
sure.
that looks like Photoshop, yung
Hmm.
Affinity Photo. I haven't
Hmm.
tried that one yet. I think I
Meron
have
pa sa
it, but
Windows yun? Did they have that on
meron
Windows?
na.
I thought okay, okay, cool.
Yeah,
That
it
was
used to be
originally,
Mac
ano, diba?
only.
Yeah, yeah, Mac only yun eh, originally. Okay, so meron na pala
Mhm.
sa Windows. That's cool. So here's something. Multiply overlay, add glow, my best layer tool. Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
I use this super often. Probably overlay. So pag nagmamadali ako, I don't even separate my shadow and highlight layers anymore. Like I just use overlay and I paint everything in the same layer. Kasi pwede mo rin
Mhm.
gamitin yung overlay for the same, it'll have the same effect sometimes pag for very specific types of colors, pwede yun eh. So yung mga harsh highlights mo and yung heaviest shadows, pwede mo siyang i-paint on the overlay layer and it'll be completely clean. It's just yun lang. It medyo tamad ng konti yung method na yun, and you really should be separating your layers just because it's just good practice. Sometimes when I make work kasi na kunwari like dozens of figures and characters, sobrang dami ng layers. So it makes
Mhm.
it really
Mhm.
hard to like if you want to give every character its own shadow. Like usually,
Yeah,
if you want
yeah.
to shadow layers, you need two shadow layers, and usually kung dalawa yung light
Mhm.
sources mo, and then dalawa yung highlight
Mhm.
layers mo, and then you're like, oh my god, like it's 5 layers per character, and you have the line art, and you have the base colors, and then
Yeah.
you've got like
It really
30
depends.
characters.
Mhm. It depends on the scene that you're making. I mean, yun nga, the more layers you use, the larger the file size gets then, and then babagal yung
Yeah,
Photoshop mo,
yeah,
or yeah,
right,
or whatever
right,
software you're using. Babagal siya kasi sobrang dami na niyang layers and it's not efficient.
mm-mm.
So,
Yeah,
you know, if you can use, if you, pwede mo nang isama, emerge yung layers na yun.
right,
What I used to do before was that I'd have like a separate PSD file na hindi siya flattened.
yeah,
So, nandun lahat ng layers na, ano,
yep,
na pwede kong i-reference later on. So kung may kailangan ako baguhin na, parang shit, parang wala, I need to change this color completely, then I'll just get my flats from the different,
Yeah. Right.
the different file,
Right.
and then I'll just, copy it over to
Yeah.
the new one where
Yeah.
medyo flattened na yung layers ko.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good technique, especially if you're working with a computer na a little bit older. You don't want to be working on the file that has, 150 layers on it because wala lang, sobrang bagal niya, hindi ka makakagalaw eh. So you do wanna have, pero you wanna be careful kasi pag nawala yung original file na yun, then you lose your flexibility or
Yeah.
your ability to be baluktot, I guess. Um, so you need to make sure that your original production file is still there somewhere in your hard drive, even if the one that you're actually working on is not that. So doing layer groups is one of the ways to do this. Parang pwedeng lahat ng layer groups are merged except for one, and that one layer group is the one where you're actually working. So pwede yun to kind of reduce lang yung file size and yung memory footprint. Fiona was saying that she makes art in PowerPoint. Fiona's art style is actually one of the few art styles that will probably could allow you to do something in PowerPoint. It's still really hard, but you probably could pull off some pretty cute Axie cartoons in PowerPoint if you had a lot of time on your hands.
Hey,
Let's see.
whatever works, diba? I mean, if you're sanay ka na mag-drawing and PowerPoint, then more power to you. Because,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. But if you can make great art with it, then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, respect, diba? Respect if you can do something great in PowerPoint. Like, first of all, what the hell? But secondly, yeah, that's kind of unique. 30% of the time para sa pag-scroll sa layers. So okay, if you're spending 30% of your time scrolling through layers, it means that you're not spending enough time naming your layers. It means you're not spending enough time grouping. Because dapat mabilis lang yan eh. If you're spending all of your time just kind of scrolling back and forth, you're not organized enough. You should be able to do this very quickly, dapat. And that's the point of layers, is to help you organize. It's not supposed to help you, it's not supposed to make you more confused.
Sorry, I just needed my...
Umaabot ako 100 layers, tapos yung most layers na yun are junk or sketches. Yeah, I have that problem too. But I think the part where you're just playing around and trying things out, you should get rid of that na, or put it in another file. So I usually have parang a folder called Scratch in yung mga work in progress ko. Tapos lahat ng mga yung mga the sketches that you're planning on never using naman usually just get dumped into that. And then at the end of the project, when I'm kind of satisfied with it na, I don't feel like I have to keep even those things. Those are just notes to yourself naman eh. But I guess if you wanted to preserve it, hindi rin naman problema yun. It's just that pampabagal lang din yun eh. So if you're trying to make it so that your computer can respond to your drawing as quickly as it can, then you should probably get rid of it na. Can you clip layer a folder in Clip Studio? Yeah, we just showed you how, man. It was like we figured it out. Like right then. So just show. Yeah, okay. So kailangan naka-normal siya. Yun lang.
So here, dun sa layer style, kasi apparently folders also have layer styles, and if it's set to through, hindi magki-clip.
It doesn't work.
But if it's set to normal, then it should work fine.
Oh, question. What happens if you set it to multiply? Will it clip?
I don't know, actually. It probably.
It clips. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So anything but through.
Through, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, great.
Okay, so this main shadow layer is actually almost done.
Nice. Try nyo portable paint tool
yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, okay.
That's also another
way back Windows
popular.
7 2 gig RAM PC. Nice. Okay. All right. Huh.
It's actually, yun nga, parang a wealth of choice when it comes to drawing programs. And a lot of these then are
Mm-mm.
free.
Mm-mm.
Um, but yeah, I think if you're looking for like, yun nga, like ease of use, it's usually the paid programs that
Yeah.
are parang mas user-friendly kasi nahasa na
Right.
nila yung UI eh. Especially when it comes to, ano, for example, sa iPad. I can't really like recommend anything other than Procreate kasi
Mm-mm.
sobrang bilis lang gamitin talaga. The fact
Yeah.
na yung brush size niya is nandun sa gilid where you can like control
Yeah.
it with your thumb. Yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
that so much.
Yeah. Right. Your left thumb is doing nothing while you're drawing on an iPad, so you might as well put some controls in that in that part of the screen. Yeah, and marami siyang maliliit na like really great parang convenience things. Yung double tap with your finger is how you undo. Like that's so that's so useful. That's the one
Mhm.
thing I really miss about drawing on Windows. Parang wala siyang double tap with your fingers. Pag naka-Wacom ka, walang ganun eh. So that's too
I
bad.
and there are some models I think that have touch gestures, but
Touch.
they're crap.
Yeah, hindi ako naniniwala eh. I feel like Wacom is really really good with stylus and they're shit at yung the touch stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Oo.
yeah.
Parang feeling ko
Yun
ang
din
dami
reviews
mong
ng most.
yeah, yeah. Plus it's like 'di ba? 20% more expensive pag touch version yung binili mo na na Wacom. It's not
Yeah, yeah.
cheap eh. So napamahal ka na plus you don't even like the experience. So I was like, what? That's not worth it. So anyway, yeah, yung Wacom ko ganun din. It's like your Huion. There's no touch at all. It will only work with the stylus. And that's what I want
Mhm.
because I never have to worry about palm rejection. I don't have to worry about yung miss taps and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um this is interesting. I've been watching Proco videos and learned that if you want to achieve traditional look, stick to one layer and textured brushes. Yeah, that's totally true. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You want your colors and brushes to mix. So yeah, single layers are very important. May ano yun, there's a purpose. There, like ano yun eh, you have to decide, no? Like what are you trying to go for here?
Mhm.
What do you want it to look really, really traditional? Do you want it to look like it
Mhm.
was painted with parang organic materials? Oh yeah, you stick with one layer talaga. Um,
Mhm.
pero sometimes kasi you need to do something more complex. Sometimes you are doing something where hindi mo pa alam exactly what the final output needs to be. So you're still trying to experiment and you need layering for that. There's no way to do it with a single layer because
Mhm.
otherwise erase ka ng erase. It's not a good idea. So it depends on
Mhm.
style, I think, and what you need to do.
Yeah, and yun nga, whether you're working with a team or something, kasi kung magpapasa ka ng artwork to somebody else, for somebody else to fix, tapos isang
Just
layer
one
lang, medyo
layer.
mabubwisit lang sa'yo yun. Parang, send mo ako
Okay.
JPEG.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think yung single layer strategy that works if you're the only artist on the project. It works if you are only painting something not naman simple ha. And I don't mean simple, but I guess you need those layers if you're doing something that's got complicated angles or architecture or details. Just because you need space to be able to make some mistakes. Eh. And if everything's on the same layer, it's so painful pag nagkamali ka. Question from Jesrel. Uh, what's the soft round brush? What brush are you using right now?
Oh,
Painterly?
my brush is from that big pack that I told you
I
about.
can't remember what it's called. Wait.
Was it
Okay,
Frienden?
fine.
Was it?
Friend then?
I think it's
Friend then?
Frienden.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Here, I'll link it na lang. So I'll link it in the chat, guys. So if you are trying to do something if you want to go down this path na talagang puro clip studio yung gagamitin mo, download this brush pack. It is way more brushes than you will ever need. Like super daming
I
brushes.
switched between one and two of them actually.
Yeah,
Just one and two
yeah.
brushes.
Yeah, ako rin eh.
Ours.
Like I can't find the need for the others. I guess unless kung tinatamad lang talaga ako and I just need to get a quick texture on a surface. So yun, I'll just
Mhm.
shop for something in the brush in the brush window.
Yeah.
Parang ano kaya okay dito? Which of these 900 different brushes would give me the texture that I'm looking for?
Okay, so since
Um,
may nagtanong kanina, yung gamit ko specifically na brush right now is called Painterly Round Simple. And I
there
think
you go.
dun sa latest version of this brush pack, there's actually two brushes that are named like this, parang Painterly Round Simple, and there's a Painterly Simple Round. So I don't
Wow.
know what the difference is between the two of those, but I use Round Simple. Yeah.
I see.
Uh,
Okay. Clearly he ran out of names also for his brushes.
ang dami kasi.
Oh,
Oh,
ay, wow.
anyway, lilipat na ako to, so I have a new layer now for light. And I will set this usually to overlay or screen. And I think similar to your question kanina about why overlay versus screen. Usually, I think overlay gives me more color, and I just like it better.
Right. Yeah.
Screen
Right.
kasi masyadong bright.
Mm-mm. Jay is asking, is CSP available in Android tablets? Yeah, as of this year, it's available na in
I
Android
think so.
tablets. Yeah, pero I don't think complete yung feature set niya. So you'll still get more features from the desktop version or the laptop version, but I think that you can save the file in Clip Studio Android tablet and it'll be in exactly the same format. So you can actually switch it back
Mhm.
into your computer and then continue the work there. So I think it's ano.
I,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
remember it actually is very feature complete.
Oh, really?
Sa alam
Cool.
ko
Okay.
kasi sa
Uh,
iPad, alam ko, it's like almost exactly like, yung UI lang yung
okay.
nagbago.
Okay, okay, okay. I mean, to be fair, there's probably a whole bunch of features in Clip Studio that I've never even seen. Kasi ang dami niya talagang pwedeng gawin. It even has an animation
Yeah.
thing. So,
Yeah.
um,
Saka may
although I've
pose
never
tools
tried it.
siya. Did you know that?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. What?
Yeah, you can like put 3D models and post them before, and then you can draw over it.
What the
So it's
fuck?
like, pang comics
Okay.
kasi siya eh.
Okay. Saan mo kukunin yung models? Like from any Like what are the formats
Meron,
it
it has its own models. But I mean, they're blank models. But I think there's a tool. They actually have a tool where you can import your models and then parang convert it to
Oh.
something that's usable by Clip
Mm-mm.
Studio. But I'm like, I haven't
Mm-mm.
played around with that. Mostly kasi usually naman yung black model lang naman yung kailangan ko, and then I'll just, you know,
Right. Wow,
draw
that's
the
actually
other
really
details.
cool. Huh.
Yeah.
Cute daw yung apple cheeks mo.
Thank you.
I don't actually know what that means, but okay.
Apple
Um,
cheeks.
I don't know. What does that even mean? Um,
My cheeks look like
Photoshop.
apples.
I see. Okay. Clip Studio and Photoshop brushes are compatible. Is that true? 100%? Or is it sort
Uh,
of compatible?
Parang hindi. I
Mm,
mean, I don't recall ever trying to port brushes.
yeah, ako rin eh. I've never tried it. And honestly, pag nag-commit ka na dun sa Clip Studio, parang I don't actually I wouldn't really move into Photoshop until I'm at that phase where I'm just manipulating color na lang. In which case you don't need the brushes anyway. Um, so
Mhm.
most of the illustration work, I would still do it in Clip Studio, and then in Photoshop, ano na lang, final corrections na lang. But that's mostly that's color adjustments, slight tweaking with some I actually don't even know that. I usually don't even stop through Photoshop anymore.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know. Do you still I know that you still stop through Photoshop, diba?
Um,
When you're finalizing.
Not necessarily.
Okay,
Sometimes I
okay.
do, but
Mm-mm.
most recently I've been trying to do most of my work in Clip Studio kasi
Right.
nakakatamad maglipat eh.
Yeah, true. Oo nga. I mean, if you can get 99% of the way there, you might as well just finish it in Clip Studio. Lalo na kung hindi naman, again, if it's not super complicated. I think that layer management's still better in Photoshop. Um,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
uh, and yeah, and then I guess kind of the way that you add things like curves and God, I guess color balance. Although actually meron din namang ganun na
Mhm.
tools dito sa Clip Studio so
And
it's
then
not necessary to
parang,
switch anymore.
parang mas real time lang ata yung sa Photoshop, but I mean, you
Mm-mm.
can pretty much do it, most of it
Yeah,
here. Oh, if you're
right.
using shapes, yun. Medyo mahirap yung shapes dito in Clip Studio.
Oh, that's an interesting why do you say that?
They don't have parang yung kasi 'di ba in Photoshop it's kind of like Adobe Illustrator na yung shapes pwede mong i-combine together.
Yeah.
I think here in Clip Studio they don't have that function.
Mm-mm.
Parang hindi extensive yung shapes function niya. I mean,
Mm-mm.
merong konti na functionality of making shapes, but um, usually what I try to do now, hindi na ako well, hindi ko i-convert yung file ko or open sa Photoshop. What I do is I just try to open a new file in Photoshop, create the shapes that I need there, and then I just copy it and paste it over to my file. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. Huh. Okay.
Okay.
But it
So
stays in
I'm
vector,
doing
right?
another.
If you draw in vector in CSP, it does stay in vector naman, no?
Uh, in C, if you're using CSP to draw shapes, I think parang magiging raster lang siya if you try to convert the file to PSD. So you'll
Oh,
need to
okay.
stay using the Clip Studio format.
Oh,
Oh, about the shading. Okay. So I have my light layer na and I have my shadows. Sinama ko na yung what do you call this? Parang cast shadow from the
nice.
horns in the in the same layer, shadow layer. Um, so what I'm going to do now is I'll have another layer for our ambient occlusion. And I think somebody asked this. Did somebody ask, or did I just mention it in passing?
Before?
Um, yeah, I can't remember na. Baka dun sa assignments.
Yeah, possibly,
Uh,
possibly. I think we're gonna need a definition there, Carl. So
okay,
ambient
so ambient.
occlusion is what?
Okay, okay, so this is actually from 3D. Uh, Teka. Medyo na on the spot ako. Kailangan ko explain ka agad. So this is usually the shadows that are formed parang sa pinaka connections of stuff.
Okay.
Oh my god. I mean, there's a better explanation for this. I will save that for the video, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Medyo,
Maybe we can show what you mean na lang.
yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Cool.
Ayan. So, I'm gonna also set this to hard light muna at 100% opacity. Ay, okay. Sorry. Where is my... Anong layer ba to? Nga. This is my swatch layer. Gonna swatch lang yung light color ko before I forget. Okay. Oh, so for light, I didn't get to mention earlier, but yun nga, I also don't um use complete white usually. Usually hinahaluan ko siya ng um a little bit of yellow because like parang sunlight, 'di ba? Yung medyo yellowish light siya.
It's
So
warmer.
that's
Yep.
usually where I start.
Typically, pag
So
puti na yung ginagamit mo, it means that the color is no longer there, 'di ba? So parang you would only use pure white if you were actually showing na nawalan na ng kulay yung part na yon sa sobrang liwanag niya. And that almost never happens in real
mhm,
life. Even if you zoom into the whites of your eyeball, it's usually still
mhm,
not white. It's actually a little bit on the blue side naman.
mhm.
So yeah, or the red side, depending on whether you slept well that night, I guess. um, so you parang the things that we think of are actually white are usually not white, or at least we should never be painting them white, unless you're trying to show na it's so bright that that all of the color is gone.
Or style na
Um,
lang din. Style preference. Because sometimes I still use like pure white for like
mm-mm.
really sparkly highlights just because it
Yeah,
makes it pop.
yeah, right. Yeah, but I guess the intention is the same there. No, you're trying to really exaggerate the strength of that light, kasi when you
Mhm.
go like pure white. China is asking your advice about me being easily not motivated. I've been wanting to draw for so long, but whenever something bad happens to me, I don't have the motivation to do it. That's actually a habit of mine. What's your advice about this?
Ah,
Motivations, inspirations.
I guess because if you're not if you feel bad and you're not motivated to draw, then there's probably like some other problem that you need to focus on first. I think it's common na yun nga nagiging cycle siya na you feel bad, you feel unmotivated, and then you don't draw, and then you feel bad about not drawing. I think that's kind of um, I guess going about it backwards. I think try to figure out what's making you feel bad first and kind of work on that. Maybe
Hmm.
anyway, parang give yourself a break. Then don't try to force uh, drawing when you're feeling really unmotivated. Um, kasi you're just gonna end up making yourself feel worse. I think try to parang take a step back na muna and kind of um, I guess uh, do some self-care. It's I know it sounds cheesy, but yun, maybe try to see what areas of your life you can fix first or needs more of your attention. And then uh kasi when you get the urge to draw, feel mo naman yun, and when you do get that urge to start drawing again, then go buhos mo na dun yung energy mo. But yun, I don't think na kailangan mong ipilit na mag-drawing when you're feeling unmotivated kasi you're just gonna end up feeling worse. I hope
Well
I
said.
hope that
Yeah,
helps.
yeah. Well said. Well said. Some one of the other comments here. Um, we get burnt out by what happens around us. The way
Mhm.
I coped with it, I usually take a walk outside, see the world from another perspective, separate from my own.
Mhm.
Try playing games or watching videos that remind you of your happy place. Yeah, sure, that helps too. I think everyone has different
Mhm.
modes for this. Like ako, I
Mhm.
try to take a break from it for several months. Um,
Mhm.
and then parang when I come back to it, yeah, and I feel a little bit more. I guess I have more gas in the tank because
Yeah.
I spent time not doing it. So parang may
Mhm.
mga naipon kang creative energies that you need to parang put on the canvas, so to speak. So that's
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one way to do it also. Some of the most memorable artists are really good at parang putting their emotions right into their work. And I find that
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, sometimes people are like that. Sometimes that's the only way they can process their emotions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think all people are like that though.
Right.
So don't expect, not everyone is Vincent Van Gogh. So you don't all have to be basically clinically insane for for your art to be good, no. So anyway, wala
Mm-hmm.
kanya-kanya yan eh. So it's kind of hard to give like very like general advice, but I think what Carol said is important. I think I don't think it was the drawing or the lack of motivation for drawing that made you feel bad. It's probably something else. So you should probably deal with that first. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that is life advice from the Crypto Pop Art Guild podcast every Monday night at 8 p.m. There you go. Yeah, we don't just talk to you about art and axes. We talk to you about life itself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. All my sorry, how do you pronounce this? Genie arts? All my what's
Any art
that? What's that?
made from melancholic emotion.
What's
Uh,
genie?
I guess that's her collection.
Okay, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yun nga, if you're comfortable putting yung whatever your current emotional state is, if you're comfortable putting that into your work, I think that's fine. Go for it. That will make your stuff very
Mm-hmm.
unique and memorable. But some people kasi aren't
Mm-hmm.
exactly, hindi sila ganun na art, ganung type na artist, diba?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm angry, I create monsters. When I'm sad, I make cute things. When I'm happy, I always create colorful things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. But axes are all of those things. They're both monsters, cute things, and colorful things. So does that mean that you can draw axes whenever? Like lahat ng, no matter what you're feeling, you can draw axes. Axes are technically monsters, don't forget. Let's see. Yeah, we're actually getting a lot of interesting comments in the chat. It's okay to not be motivated. It happens. For me, I don't get motivated for weeks. Then I'll wake up one day with so much juice, then get exhausted the week after. Yeah, yeah, that's
That actually
that's
happens to
life.
me too.
Mm,
Uh-huh. Like
yeah.
so the last piece that I minted as an NFT was like back in September ba? And yesterday, was it just yesterday? I think it was maybe Sunday evening. I started the painting, and then 4 hours later, I'm done. So it's like
Wow.
months between
Yeah.
my last painting. So parang
Wow.
when it happens, it happens. I mean, I
Yeah.
know that
Mm,
I know that you can't really get away with this all the time, especially when you're in a professional setting, diba?
mm,
Dun kasi you just have to show up and do the work. But yun, if there's no real strict deadline, I think just give yourself a break. Don't rush into it.
right. Right. Okay. Um, yeah, oo nga, podcast na some crypto art and life advice. Yeah, that's us. That's us. Um, ako basta may bayad, motivated ako. Yeah, sure. That's a good
That's a good
motivation too.
motivator. Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Always, always, always. Basta binabayaran ka talaga. Ah. Wag lang yung mga like they're just saying that they're gonna pay you. Or 25% down payment tas biglang mawawala na pag na-submit mo na yung yung project. Ay, naku. Let's see. The world gave us so many reasons to stop making. The world gave us so many reasons to stop making art indefinitely. Yet here we are, right? Yeah, I actually think that I don't know. I actually feel like the whole pandemic and lockdown thing that actually made me want to make more art nga. Because I don't know, siguro there's a part of it na parang existential, like you're thinking, fuck if the world ends. I hope I actually created stuff that is I don't know, that I'm genuinely happy with or proud of or something. So yeah, I think it kind of made me want to make more stuff actually. Drawing axes is therapeutic. Yeah, as you can see, that's exactly what Carol is doing right now. It is very therapeutic.
Yeah, that's actually like pretty fun, and it's so simple. Na,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't even have to think about it too much.
I didn't see your light plan. Did you have another light underneath? Ah, wala no.
I'm
So
gonna like,
ano ka?
yeah. Pero pwede nating i-style, lagyan ko lang ng konting bounce light.
Yeah, right. So we'll pretend that I mean, obviously there's a floor
Yeah.
somewhere in this image, obviously. So one of the things you could do is bounce some of that light from
Mhm,
the floor up to the bottom
mhm,
part of the axis to give it a little bit more um wala lang, just to define the shape a little bit more than sa bottom
mhm.
area.
Sorry, medyo naghahalo na ako ng occlusion ko saka ng dagdag na shadow. But the occlusions are usually here, yung sa mga, yun nga, parang where certain parts meet. It's
Mm-hmm.
just to help define yung edges. And I swear I will get a better definition for this at some point.
Do you want me to Google it? I could I could look for it and see if there's like a
There's a
one
whole ass
sentence.
video on this.
Okay, okay. Actually, I don't
Um,
want to then. Yeah, yeah. If you're gonna do a whole video on it, I don't want to preempt that. You should go do that. It
yeah,
deserves a better explanation.
I mean, meron nang available na video on this. I actually noted it down, but I forgot where I did. Kasi nga
Okay.
this demo was supposed to go last week, diba? So I had like all my
Yeah.
notes somewhere, and then I kind of
Uh
forgot where I
oh.
put them.
Uh oh. Uh oh. Okay. 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 Sige. So hey, do you remember what that tablet that you were talking about was na pwede mo i-plug in sa phone mo? What was the name of
It's
that
this
tablet?
one.
It's that one?
Yeah.
So you
I
can
just have
pero what phones? What phones can you plug it into?
from what I understand, it's mostly Samsung lang din. So baka
Yeah,
mahal pa din
okay.
and kind of out of
Yeah, yeah.
range kasi you'll still have to buy the Samsung
A
phone.
Samsung. And yung Samsung phone mo on its own will be more than 25,000 pesos. So that's not gonna.
Probably.
Yeah. Lo-fi girl. Do you think we should have could actually run music? Well, you know what? Maybe we should do that next time. While you're drawing, let's
Yeah,
have like some ambient music. Pero I
maybe.
can't. I have to be really careful about what we use.
You'll need to get
Because Facebook will shut us down.
yeah,
Pag
yeah, you need to get royalty free
copyrighted.
music.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, on the other hand, I do have a lot of friends who are musicians, so maybe I can just ask them for can you make me like a 90-minute track? No, pwede kang- I'll just play it underneath.
Or kahit na like I don't know, 5 minute loop or something, and then mag-loop na lang siya.
That's gonna make you go crazy. Cause like para may LSS ka for the evening after the show is done.
Oo.
Maganda po ba experience pag connected sa Android yung Huion Canvas? I think you need to watch reviews. I'm sure there are some
Yeah, I know.
reviews that talk about this. Brad Colbo has a review of this. He's one of those artists on YouTube that does very very tech oriented kind of reviews for artists and gadgets and
Mhm.
stuff. Um, hmm. Jazz is good. Yeah, actually, I was thinking about that. So jazz is actually a really nice music genre when you're working kasi hindi siya like it's easy to tune it out, but it's also if you want to start listening to it, there's a lot of intricate details. And also hindi masyadong mabilis yung beat niya, so it's easier for you to to get into a mellower mental state. But honestly, I don't actually listen to music anymore while I'm working. I've just stopped doing that. I find that it's better na I'm just concentrating 100%. Di lahat ng device compatible sa Canvas. Yeah, okay. So that's probably right. I think Carol was saying na ano nga Samsung saka maybe Huawei. Did you say Huawei or no?
No, I think it was just Samsung.
Oh, okay. That's not so good. Okay, so
I'm
medyo
not sure.
limited
I
siya.
mean, I'm sure there's a list there.
Right. Yeah, so this is one of those times, guys, na ano, you really need to do the proper amount of research before you decide on something. So try to watch a lot of YouTube videos before you decide on which gadget you want to buy with your ano, CPAG loan. Um, and then obviously ask us. Feel free to ask us for ano, for our opinions. Maybe there's some of them that we've tried ourselves. Um, uh, Bossa Nova. Wow, now we're just talking about music genres. K-pop, anime. Okay. Um, Bossa Nova music. What is your favorite video game soundtrack, Carol? Uh-oh. Did I just lose you? Holy shit, is that me? Okay. So Carol's laptop just restarted. So I guess that means I'm on my own, Muna. Hold on, let me just do this. Okay, so I guess we're gonna sit around and wait for Carol to come back. Let's answer some questions na lang from the people who are asking about the lending program, just to make sure that ano, because I saw that there were a few of you na medyo late na dumating, no. Uh, so again, the reason why we're going to do this is because we want to make sure everyone has the equipment that they need to become better artists, right? So just to answer, hey Carol,
Sorry.
did your laptop literally just restart?
Yeah, it died.
Wow. Where
Well,
did you save your work?
I hope so.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna
Uh,
see kung nasa-save ng Clip Studio yung most recent version. I know that yung default niya is 5 minutes though, so I don't. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see kung baka I don't know. Maybe you got lucky. Yeah. So just to
all
answer
right.
that question, if you want to buy something that's more expensive than 25,000 pesos, that's totally fine, but you have to pay for it yourself. And then yung ang babayaran lang namin yung 25K na part. So you actually have to give us an extra whatever 1,000 pesos. Kung kunwari 30K yung gusto mong bilhin, you have to give us an extra 5K so we can buy that 30K thing for you. And then yung uutangin mo lang from CPAG will be the 25K. And then also, when you pay us back, you will pay us back with the SLP that you earned. Okay, so you don't have to think about kung paano mo papadala sa amin yung pesos. It's just gonna be in SLP, and then we'll just compute based on the whatever the rate of the time is. So did you lose stuff
Um,
or is it
I lost a
kind of?
little bit of progress, but that's fine.
Mm-mm. Okay, cool.
My laptop keeps doing this.
Why did it restart? Is it overheating or something?
Uh,
Hindi naman.
I don't think so, but I think there's a problem with this particular model that I got. Parang a lot of
Oh.
people have been kind of
What are you
uh,
running? What's your machine right now?
uh, ROG Strix, yung Advantage
Mm,
edition.
an Asus. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That's usually pretty solid.
Oh nga.
Hmm,
I thought it was a good bet,
weird.
but then
Uh,
having weird shutdown problems with it.
yeah, okay. My Windows machine in BGC is a Asus na Studio Book. Um,
Hmm.
it's kind of like the boring version of yung ROG. So it has it has no RGB lights. It doesn't have fancy graphics dun sa case niya. It's very very
Mhm.
simple. But the insides are almost the same.
Oh, really?
Tapos ano, sa sobrang ano niya, sa sobrang boring niya, it doesn't even have a webcam. So it's like it expects you not to use it that way. So parang if you want to have a camera, you bring your own camera. You're not gonna ano. Oh my god, did she freeze again? What the? Holy shit. Seriously? Did she just freeze again? Okay.
Oh,
So I guess this is
okay.
you're back, you're back. Okay, all right, you're back. What
Okay.
happened there? Was that internet or
Ah,
was that your laptop?
I don't know. I think that might be the internet.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Good. Cool. That was weird because it would have been really weird kung dalawang beses nag-restart yung computer mo in 5 minutes. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
strange.
that'd be annoying.
Yeah. I guess
Okay,
that means we're not recommending Asus.
not this particular model.
Oh shit. But generally I really like Asus stuff. Like
Mhm.
generally speaking, they've got really, really solid machines. I really like their stuff.
Mhm.
I think yung next laptop ko will probably be a MacBook Pro. Um,
Mhm.
Parang I think I might go back to Apple again. Ano maganda yung ano It seems like all of the reviews of the new stuff are like it's just so good.
Mhm.
Na I kind of wanna I kind of want a laptop that is powerful enough to even so I can draw even while when
Mhm.
I'm traveling. I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
next year I don't think I'm gonna be in La Union as much as I thought. I think I'm gonna be traveling around a lot more just because we want to start doing YGG meetups in other parts of the country. So actually, CPAG, so
Mhm.
this is an interesting thing for you guys. If you are parang in some of the cities that we'll be visiting, I hope you can come out and say hi. We'll probably be doing AXI meetups in Cebu City, Davao City, Baguio, stuff like that over the next year. So early in 2022. So it'll be me. It'll be some of our more well-known managers, sila Kuku, sila Shanks, maybe some of our content creators, and then we'll all go Palawan. Sheesh. I really want to go to Palawan actually. Fiona, are you in Puerto Princesa? There's a really nice adobo place there that I really want to go back to. What's the name of that adobo place? Parang Tito something. Um, Damn, what's the name of that adobo place? Hindi siya ganun kalayo sa sa center ng Puerto Princesa. But anyway, super sulit 'yon. Where is everyone? Ayun, Maui, Cebu, Nueva Ecija. Um, yeah, we should. Nueva Ecija kasi medyo may malaki-laki na yung Axie community dun So they don't actually need another meetup there. But Baguio, I think, definitely there will be a meetup in Baguio. Um, and then, yeah, Cebu and Davao for sure. Yeah, yeah.
You guys are still there, right? Akala ko,
Yes, sorry. I was looking
wala
at,
na naman
I was
ako.
looking at chat messages.
Uh, I just want to say na what I'm going for here is not to be like super realistic with the lighting. I just want to make it a little bit more 3D. So, ayun, just in case you're wondering, I mean, I'm usually my goal is never to make the most realistic lighting possible.
Mm, mm. So, I guess you put bounce, no? I didn't actually notice it. So
Yeah,
you airbrush that in? What were you doing there?
it's just the same brush that I was using, but very light in strokes.
Mm, okay. Okay. Okay, so I guess we can parang explain the what's going on here, no? Yung when you bounce light from a surface, it's never hard. No, you don't. Well, I mean, not naman never, but
Mhm.
it's much softer. It's much softer. So she's just kind of. I would have. Me personally, I would probably use an airbrush here because I don't think I can lighten it as well as you are. What's the no? Sorry, hindi ko na makita yung ano mo, yung layer style mo. Is it? You're using
Right now
screen
it's
na.
on screen. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So yung bounce mo nakapatong dun sa hard light shadow.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then it's using screen because you don't need it to be overlay um,
yeah.
when it's just a bounce that's going through the shadow
Sometimes
layer, I
overlay
guess. What does
doesn't
it
do
actually
anything.
look at? What does ay halos wala, no? Yeah, so
Uh-uh.
you need screen para mas harsh ng konti. Because sobrang light nung pagbrush mo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
Okay. What else? This is actually like pretty good now for a
Hmm.
parang yun nga,
Yeah.
parang a 3D effect.
Yeah.
Wait
Yeah,
lang.
yeah, yeah.
Let me just edit this a little bit. Okay. And so
Nice.
I guess we can
Very
stop
nice.
here and then I can show you parang other parang tricks na you can do. Like yun nga, if you want to um i-duplicate ko lang to. So kung gusto niyo paglaruan yung kulay ng axis, for example, I mean yung kulay ng character mo, merge ko lang to para mabilis. And so you can, manipulate the colors underneath and your lighting will still be pretty
Right.
much
Yeah.
there and set. So,
Yeah.
you can play around with the colors as much as you want. And yun, and even with your lights, pwede niyong paglaruan yung color. Let me show you. So right now I'm using like the red, like a dark red shadow. But
Mm.
if you just play around with the hue, nagpapalit yung shadow color mo. So this is
Right.
like one of the one of the ways that we kind of like speed up yung color decision making process. What I'll do usually when I get to this point na parang okay, I've decided the colors of my shadow and my lights, and even yung bounce light, or your or rim light kung gusto ko maglagay ng rim light. Pag naka-decide na ako nun, I'd usually just merge them all together and then I'll paint over it. Parang dun na ako, yun, nandun na lahat ng colors that I need. And so I just color pick from that layer and, paint directly in one layer. But yun nga, this is a great method of working sa start. Kasi lalo na, yun nga, pag you're like me, I'm super, parang I go back and forth between color,
Yeah.
between color choices. So,
Mhm.
usually when I'm sketching, minsan, sobrang layo ng nagiging final colors ko from my planned colors.
Mhm.
So, yeah, yun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think
that's
having
how I work.
having the ability to balaktot your colors is very important. It's the secret of all professional artists. Um,
Oh, another sorry, tip is you can or if you want to check yung values, parang if you have enough shadow or light in your scene, you could actually um, make a layer na black, set it to color para makikita mo yung range, if you need to add more shadow or shadow or light to it. So, yeah. Like
Nice.
Sometimes you maybe want to adjust the shadow a little bit para mas maganda yung distribution of grays ng image. Ayan. Yan lang.
Nice.
Sorry, I guess that concludes
Cool.
this demo.
Very useful. Sorry,
Equidistant
Ramon was
is-
asking, do you do that trick where you go grayscale first and then you start putting the color in after?
Sometimes. I actually don't like doing that so much. I guess kasi mas nahihirapan ako trying to get the colors that I want if I start from gray. And also iba yung method na, di ba? Parang I think you do your colors in an overlay layer or a color layer. And I never get, parang it takes me longer to get to the colors that I actually want. So no, usually I would start with the colors that I think I want, and then I just try to use either color balance or yung hue saturation sliders to to get to the colors that I to my final colors.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think yung technique na yon is more of a. I see that a lot amongst painters, digital painters, kasi they care so much about yung values nung work before they actually start putting the color in. So they'll spend all of their time trying to get yung. It has to look perfect in black and white. If it doesn't look perfect in black and white, they're not gonna move to the color stage, which is fine. You know, some people do it that way nga talaga. Pero typically hindi ko nakikita yun in pag-illustration yung parang output. It just doesn't seem like it works as well. Although I don't know. I guess it really depends on what you're going for nga. Del is reminding us na yung words for the day natin were equidistant. That was from Coach Cody's last session with us. So equidistant, thank you for the reminder. And then now baluktot. Yun yung mga natin words na
I think
secret
I heard
words.
a bit
These
of
are our
that.
passwords. Yeah, ito yung mga Wi-Fi passwords ng CPAG pag nasa co-working space tayo. What's the advantage of having a small versus medium-sized Wacom drawing tablet? I don't know if you have an opinion on this one, Carol.
The advantage of having a big tablet would probably be you have more screen space to work on. The advantage of having a smaller tablet is that you'll have more desk space.
Right.
So
yung
I actually
pagbalik yung mesa mo, medyo mahirap yung malaki na tablet. Yun lang. That's it.
I actually had nga a 22-inch Huion tablet before. Yun lang. Hindi siya nagkasya sa desk ko once I switched to a laptop. So, kaya ako nag-downgrade, I guess, into this smaller tablet. But I actually find working on it a little bit easier, and parang it makes me less hyper-focused on details. Kasi, yun nga, parang you need to zoom in, di ba? If you want to do detail work. So usually, sa akin, I have like zoomed out, and since I see less of the canvas, hindi ako I don't over render one part and then forget about the rest. So there is some advantages then art wise, I suppose.
Yeah. I think also if you're using a small tablet, it's easier to travel with. So if you are expecting to have to go from work to school to home, na dala-dala mo yung setup mo, probably want to go with the smaller one. And then anytime na you need to have the ability to move your desk around, probably want to have a smaller one. The bigger your setups are, the more likely it is na hindi mo nagagalawin yon ever. So yung sinasabi ni Carol na 22-inch na Huion, sorry, I wasn't sure if that was Huion, but I know that she has a really, really big tablet. There, yung Wacom version one's even bigger. It's 24 inches. Tapos it comes with this really, really big stand that weighs about 10 kilos. So yung buong setup mo on your desk is about 20 kilos. Ano pa lang yun, drawing tablet pa lang yun, wala ka pang computer. So like if you put all of that stuff on your desk, do you really think you're ever gonna move that again? Probably not. So, ayun, medyo nagko-commit ka na to. Ito na yun, parang hindi mo nagagalawin yung workstation mo ever pag ganun yung gamit mo. And then you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Because are you gonna
It's
become
more
a better
expensive
artist?
then.
It's way more expensive. Way more
Uh-huh.
expensive. It's not twice as expensive. It's more like 5 times more expensive. Yung 11-inch na Huyon versus the 22, 24-inch Huyon na from this year, it's more like 3 times more, 4 times more expensive. Parang ganon. Malaki yung difference.
Huyon, yung price difference is a little less, but
Oh, okay,
if
okay.
you are
Okay.
trying to get a Wacom,
Well, yeah.
then
Oh,
yun,
yeah.
jump
Yeah.
talaga.
Yeah. Right. Well, but I mean, obviously, ano, no. So, the point of the point of CPAG lending money to its artists is so that you have a little bit of breathing room to try stuff, no. So you can actually try something that maybe you weren't planning on trying yet this year. So yeah, I think you should go for it. If you're gonna be, if you want to experiment a little bit, go for it. Um, we will try to figure out a way to lend maybe larger amounts, pero siguro in the coming year na. And I want to make sure na meron tayong isang round na nabayaran yung mga loans, na people got to try the repayment, and they were comfortable making monthly repayments. I want to try all of that stuff first before we start thinking about like what's the version 2 of this lending program. Okay, follow-up question.
Having no motivation similar to being lazy, I would say no. Sometimes kasi yun nga, having no motivation might mean other things. Yun nga, you might be having a mental issue like depression, anxiety, or you might have ADHD. Any of these can affect your motivation, and I think it's kind of unfair that usually yung society natin kind of like tries to simplify it into laziness, and that's not really fair. There's a lot of parang things in your brain that can affect your motivation, and I think that if you are really feeling unmotivated and any other sort of bad stuff, I would advise to try to see a therapist, and get yourself checked, see if you might need medication to help with your symptoms. But minsan we can get away then with talking about our problems, and you can approach any of your guildmates or me if you want to send me a DM or talk to me in private about anything. And just let me know. We'll try to work through what's making you feel unmotivated.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. It's very different. It's not the same thing. And medyo mahal therapist dito. Yeah, a little bit.
That's true. Sorry. Right.
But anyway,
I think
we will. I think I think for now, just being able to acknowledge it and talk about it for some people. For some people, maybe that's the first step. No, so I mean, obviously, we are not therapists. So it's more like the best we can do is talk about it with you guys. Actually, this is being very open. No? So there's 60 other people in this call right now. but
yeah.
yeah, I think I think maybe one of the things that you can count on from your other guild members, your guild mates, is that there's probably gonna be someone there who maybe understands you a little bit better than other people do, because you're also artists. You're also kind of coming from medyo pareho na yung context natin ngayon to a certain extent. No, I mean obviously not everyone's gonna be the same, but at least there's something there. You have something that you have in common. and then you can kind of use that as a way for you to talk to each other. Um, I don't want to go too far down this road because this could
Yeah.
be kind of a tricky subject to talk about. Um,
Yeah, and it's kind of a big topic then.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-mm,
mental
mm-mm.
health issues uh and art and art kind of together,
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. That is true. Hmm. It is funny, no? I mean, I guess we ended up we were planning on just doing a session on lighting and shadow, but I guess yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about art nga without also kind of coming into the other parts of ano parang yung ano emotional state mo. So that's
Mm,
one extreme part of the conversation. The other extreme part of the conversation is like the business side, the commercial side, how do you
yeah.
make money from
Yeah.
this? So actually,
Mm,
medyo marami kang pwede pag-usapan talaga eh. And I guess it's just kind of nice
yeah.
to be able to chat about it very casually and not have to really
Mm.
have an agenda. Um, okay. Ano? What? I'm trying to see. Was there a follow up comment here? Find your happy place. If that's anxiety, eat chocolate. Well, okay, sige, maybe. I don't
It
know.
could work for you.
Yeah, for some people, it probably works a little bit. Hey,
Yeah.
we're almost at 2 hours. Do you want to do your what's your homework?
Oh, right. So the homework, it's going to be simple. I didn't get to make a slide for it, but basically draw your favorite axie from your team. I'm guessing that you have at least three there to pick from. Uh, and yeah, try to do this kind of shading, na soft shading, na make it more 3D. So yeah, so just apply what you've learned from this video, and then I will repost the instructions Discord, so that everybody has reference, and then I'll just, I guess, link back to the video then para sa mga hindi uh,
What's
hindi
the ano?
naka-join
What's the
today.
plan? What's the plan with the Discord channel? Are we gonna make a new Discord channel for homework or kasi wala, di ba?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't have a Discord channel.
wala pa.
Okay.
But I
Okay,
think I
sige.
have
So
access naman. I can
great.
make that channel.
Okay,
I'll
great.
just make that channel once I'm posting the details.
Okay, so ganun guys ha. Don't submit it in the main chat na lang para hindi magulo dun sa main chat. Let's put it all in the homework. Also to make it easier for Carol to find them para at least nandun na lang sa isang place talaga lahat. And
Mhm.
then how do we handle like yung feedback and stuff? Are we just gonna do it live na lang? Or ano, do you wanna
Pwede.
comment on it pa?
We can try the live the live feedback.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I'll review
Yep.
it naman once while it's coming in, and then we can do
Sige.
the live feedback.
Sige. Okay, so what we'll do, how many days are we gonna run this one?
I think we need to run it a bit longer because they also have
Mhm.
that Tesmas.
Tesmus.
Ano,
Yeah.
di ba? So they
Kailan ba
might
yun?
wanna do that first kasi so ano ba?
Okay. Well, kasi December 13 pa naman
Oo nga.
deadline nun. So it might be okay. November 30 is November 30 a holiday? I know we have a holiday coming up eh. May scoring din po ba yung homework na yun? We never did, technically. Did we?
Yeah. I
So,
think hindi naman. Let's try not to put scores, I guess.
yeah.
We're
I
all
think the
learning
feedback. Yeah, we're all learning here. Oh, and we'll be. I think we'll be honest with the feedback, but also polite. So
here.
yun. And we're
Yes.
not gonna put scores. Let me think. Kahit tres lang po. Well, sige. Okay, ikaw bahala ka. Um, uh, let's think. Hold on, huh? I actually kind of think maybe we should just do it faster para after that they can focus na on the Tesmas thing. Kasi,
I guess.
I don't know. I'm actually okay to do another call next Monday. Because I'm still here in La
Yeah.
Union nun eh. I haven't left yet.
Pwede.
So, I'll still be here. That means I still have my setup. I'm not going to be like ridiculously busy. So here's what we'll do, guys. Since hindi naman this one's gonna be slightly easier kasi pwede niyong kopyahin yung structure nung axie niyo eh, 'di ba? So all you have to do
Mhm.
is kind of paint over it with the lighting and shadow. So that actually makes it a little bit more, at least at least from a construction point of view, mas mabilis siya gawin. However, I will say you don't have to follow where like Carol's lighting plan.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
would
You
say
can.
try to do something different, 'di ba? Like do something different. Like what does it look like kung galing sa baba, galing sa bottom lahat ng light? Or what does it
Mm.
look like pag two-point lighting na pantay? I guess walang shadows yun. But okay, maybe not like that. But like it's also a circle, so it kind of eliminates all of the shadowing. But like think about different lighting schemes and see what you can do to to be creative about it. No? And I think
Mhm.
one of the points of the exercise is look at how different the axis in the top left is versus the axis that Carol actually ended up with is. This is the same
Mhm.
axis, but it looks so different. And primarily that's because the lighting is different.
Mhm.
So it's just a way to think about artwork. No, sometimes it's not the lines or the shapes; it's the lighting that that makes it feel
Mhm.
very very different. So yun lang, just something to think about. Ang taba na ng axis po pag sa baba pa yung view, lalong tataba. Yeah, that's true. But that's fine. It's cute, right? It's kind of cute. Why not? Um, I think that's it. Did you have any? Did you have any final words that you wanted to leave with?
No. I guess. Yeah. Try to just challenge yourself then.
Yeah,
With this homework.
yeah.
Try not to. Yun nga. Parang wag naman exacto like how I lit my axis here.
Mm-mm.
Um. So yeah. So play around with it. Kasi yun nga. Parang the purpose of these exercises is to make you better and explore. um so yeah, just have fun with it then.
Right, right. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And if you're more experimental, I think it's more likely that we'll spend time talking about your work because we'll
Mhm.
probably want to talk about why it's interesting, or maybe even if it doesn't work, diba? It's
Mhm.
good to know why it didn't work or why there was something wrong with it, diba? But I
Mhm.
encourage you to be more experimental. And then obviously,
Mhm.
yun nga. So starting tomorrow, you guys can start shopping na on Kim's store, and then you tell Jang what you guys are looking for, and then we'll start organizing the first batch of purchases. I saw in the chat na Huyon actually doesn't have any products in Kim's store pala. So um ganito na lang, and I was kind of hoping that we could just order kasi from a single place just because it would be so much easier that way. But if
Mhm.
there's enough of you that want to buy Huyon, and we don't have a choice, we can't buy it from Kim's store, pwede natin siyang bilhin through Lazada. We definitely will not get a discount. But I guess kaya naman yun siguro if there's maybe less than 10 people that are gonna try to buy Huyons. Baka kaya yon. Yung nakakatakot lang kasi hindi naman nakakatakot. It's just harder just because ibig sabihin kami ni Jang yung gagawa nung logistics ng pag-ship nun eh. So medyo slightly more difficult. The reason why we wanted to work with Kimstar was isang big order, isang bayaran, and then sila na bahala sa lahat eh, which is kind of what we were hoping for. Anyway, we will figure it out. Murang-mura lang po sa flagship store. Yeah, okay. All right, sige. Well, sige, I'll leave that up to you guys. Give Jang your wish lists, I guess, or well, I mean, yeah, your wish lists. And then we'll see what we can do. Kung kuyon talaga, then we'll find a way to make it work. Um, but I think that for the ones of you na who want to upgrade from phones pa lang, you're probably not gonna go straight to a Huyon because you need a computer pa eh. So, 'di ba? So parang you need to have other stuff for that to work. So you probably wanna look at yung tablets muna like yung Samsung S6, or I think there's also an A7. I'm not sure kung pasok yun dun sa budget natin. But anyway, I think that's it. Let's all keep in touch tomorrow, and then hopefully by Friday we'll be buying our first batch, and hopefully by next Monday you guys are showing us your homework now. Carol will be creating a Discord channel for this homework. And I think that's it. Thank you, everyone, for watching tonight. Carol, you still don't have a YouTube channel name, so I guess we'll go with ano na lang, Draw Right Play. Please follow if you're not already
Probably.
following Caroline on Twitter. Please follow her on Draw Right Play. Um, and I assume you follow me because you were kind of required to in the beginning. So thank you so much for the time, guys. Caroline, thank you so much again for your time. This was a great
Thank you,
session.
Ken.
And I like that we actually gave a little bit of artist life advice apart from the actual artist advice. Okay, guys, good night and have fun. We'll see you again soon. Hopefully by next week. Okay. Bye, everyone.